Good evening, everybody. It's time again for your Rowdies Talk Radio, the Green and Gold Gospel.
Hey there, little Red Riding Hood, I got a problem and it's complicated. Going through changes and I just can't ignore the signs. Hear them now and it's so loud it hurts. Hear me growl, hear me howl when the full moon is out. Hear me growl, you see me run, you see me jump. Try to fight, but I emerge with the prize in hand. You better watch out, it's gonna take more than what you got. All eyes are on me and the silence is deafening. You're so helpless against this full moon. Don't ever say I didn't warn you, because I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play. Wow!
Hello, Rowdies fam, and welcome back to the Unused Substitute Show, where we try to spread the green and gold gospel. I am your host today, Ben. Again, I am solo. Dan is not here. He is moving, so he doesn't even really have a studio or a computer or anything. It's all packed up as he is in preparations to move to his new place. So you got me this week again. We're going to go through this thing pretty quickly. Gosh, I kind of been back and forth on how I wanted to look at this game, because I think there was a lot of positives to take from it. Obviously, there's a lot of negatives too. You know, it sucks. We're out of the Jager Cup. It sucks to be out of it. It sucks to be out by Charleston. That probably means more to me than it does to some of y'all, but ultimately we're out. It wasn't necessarily their top squad, but they came out to play. And look, I mean, as I predicted they would. They wanted to play spoilers, and well, they did, you know. And looking at this game, though, I'm frustrated by the result, but I am optimistic about what I saw. And let me break that down a little bit. Let's kind of talk about the game. You know, we started the game pretty hot. I mean, I would say that it's hard to say that we were the better team, but we definitely had the better opportunities. I mean, in that third minute, we had a shot on goal by Wyke off the cross, off a good turnover play. In the midfield, quick strike. Bodley, again, being absolutely clutch on the left-hand side. I just shot in a beautiful ball to the back post. Wyke heads it in. Of course, our goalkeeper's, you know, right in position. Good on him for playing the position well. I mean, he was right there to collect the ball on the ground. But I mean, still, there was intent. You know, and one thing that I talked about last week is I want to see this team come out with intent. When you're playing a better squad, you're not always going to possess the ball and maybe look the best as far as how you want to play. But I think what we did well in this game was we really limited a very potent offense. The most, I would say, statistically, the most potent offense in USL right now, and we made them look very lame. We really did not give them a lot of room. I mean, look at it. I mean, that the shot in the third, you had the 16th, Hilton does the 1-2 pass back and forth with Arteaga, breaks inside and takes that shot where it just goes over the crossbar. I mean, unfortunate. I mean, I think you give him that chance 8 out of 10 times. I think he probably puts that on frame. For whatever reason, it just didn't go in there. But again, we turn the ball over at midfield. We quickly move up the field and we create an opportunity. Then again, 45th minute, Arteaga just misses that upper 90. I mean, it was a beautiful shot. I mean, it would have been more beautiful, obviously, if it went upper 90. But I mean, it was a tough angle. It was a quick turn, just a quick little sidestep out to his right, and I mean, it didn't miss by much. I mean, and looking at this lineup, I mean, again, I'm kind of confused by some of the starts. Now, look, this is, I don't want to get caught up on the formation so much because we came up more like a 4-3-2-1, I guess, if you want to call it that. But I was a little surprised by Arteaga getting the start again, although we talked about this last 2 weeks. I think there's a message being sent to Passius. I feel like there's something going on there, and I think they're trying to do what they feel is best. Although, if you are trying to hold up the ball so your players can play off you and move your way up the field, Arteaga is definitely the better choice, right? I mean, he's definitely the better option for that. That's not, Wubin's strength. That's not what he does. So I guess I get that. Leo up top, I thought did well. I think he did serviceable, not a great game. I mean, again, we look limp in the final third, even though I just talked about us having some of the better opportunities. I mean, we did, but a lot of that's over the turnover in the middle of the field, which again, I like that we kind of jammed the middle of the field a little bit more with more players. Again, I said last week, I was like, we've got to shut down spaces. We've got to create more options for our players to move the ball around 1-2 touch inside the way that we're trying to play. And you do that by overloading certain areas and allowing your wide players to stay wide, but the middle players to all kind of crowd the spaces and shut down the channels. And we did that. We turned over the ball, or we would get the ball. Charleston turned it over quite a few times, even though they had the lion's share of possession pretty much throughout the game. I want to say at halftime it was so around like 60. It was probably like 69 to 31. I mean, it was pretty lopsided. But if you think about it, though, like, where was their possession? Even when they took shots, like, they weren't on goal, they weren't on frame, and they weren't really a threat. I mean, there wasn't much to them. I mean, for a team that is put in, how many goals have they put in again? Oh God, I was just looking at this too. I feel like I should know this. For a team that has scored, let's see here, 38 goals and only 16 against. I mean, that's pretty potent. And again, I know this wasn't necessarily their top. Like, if they were playing the final right now, that's not the lineup they would choose, but it's pretty close. And 38 goals. I mean, again, we are a team that's kind of been leaking goals. I was really impressed with the way that we really just kind of made them look very flat in the final third. And that's a credit to what I think Coach Casiato talked about last week, the week before. Even something that Steve Coleman talked about is that we got to get better at not giving up the sloppy goals, staying true to our positions, following our players. Really, the only time that we kind of really broke down was on their goal, which, oddly enough, they didn't even score. It wasn't even Calgini's goal. It was an own goal on Robert Castellanos, which, I mean, that's a frustrating one, right? I mean, like, what is he to do there? Like, I mean, for the ball to go the way it did and fly over top the keeper and just barely bounce inside the post, on the backside of the post. I mean, it's like, you feel for the guy, right? Because I think as a whole, I think he did really well. I think the defense did very well. And again, I mean, they didn't score. We scored. And whatever. I mean, semantics, I know. But I really felt like even though Charleston owned that first half, we were the better team. And I mean, again, to where I originally started this was, we needed to come out and punch them in the mouth. Like, we need to come out with intent. We need to come out that we aren't afraid. And I do still feel like we did that to a certain degree. I mean, obviously, I would have liked to have owned possession. I would like to own shots on goal. I would like to win the game. And yeah, but let's be realistic and reel it back to where we as a team are right now. We're a team that has gotten better at finding its form. We're still desperately trying to find the back of the net. I think there's still some question marks about the lineups that we're using, and that's not me necessarily questioning the coach is making the right decision or not. I mean, I think that there are some external limitations or complications that are not allowing us to maybe do things that maybe we would probably want to do. But given, where we're at this year, what players are performing, and just what we have available out there, I mean, it is what it is. I still feel like we were the better team. And if you don't let that goal go in at halftime the way it did, and which, by the way, 10 minutes of extra time, like, was it really 10 minutes? I will say I like this format better, but what a mystery. In a run of bad luck, it just feels like, man, we cannot catch a break with these things. Maybe it was 10 minutes. I don't know. I didn't feel like it to me. Whatever. It's frustrating, but you got to go into halftime down 1-0 right at the end of half, which, Dominic talked about that and his quote, if I've got it here, says that first goal we conceded was a tough one to concede at that moment, right before halftime. You could have gone into halftime knowing you were the better team, and then you can really attack in the second half. Just the timing of that first goal hurt us. And I agree. I mean, where I don't feel like Charleston had any momentum. They had possession, but I don't feel like it was purposeful. I don't feel like it had any weight to it, right? Like, it didn't feel like Charleston was the number one team and we are the second to last team. This felt much more even. And I think that's a testament to the bend don't break method that we seem to have adopted now at defense. The way that we are able to win the ball in the middle of the field and push our objective, push our attack up quickly. Counterattack, yeah, I get it. Whatever you want to call it. But I mean, I feel like we were able to influence the game better. I mean, if you think about where things started from the beginning of the season, those first 5 games, right, under Robbie Nielsen, we were completely discombobulated. I mean, there was no organization, there was no communication, there was nothing. And it never felt, even like when we did win the ball over, we turned it right back over, right? It's just like we were so out of sync. And then Steve Coleman ends up getting the position. He really builds a camaraderie of the team. I think he builds a belief amongst the players. I think he built us back to a point where we started to believe in each other as a team and kind of send us on the right path with a lot of the right foundational blocks that we needed. Obviously, we had some things on the way there. We had some injuries and some other stuff that were hindering some things. But as a goal, I think was moving us in the right direction. And you can see kind of a continuation from what Steve Coleman was trying to do and what Coach Dominic Casiato is also trying to implement. And you can see, I know, we're talking about patterns of play and small victories. And the fact of the game that we lost, I know, but look, what do you want us to talk about? I mean, this is where we're at. And I mean, again, I genuinely feel like we were the better team here. I don't feel like, I know Charleston is statistically better than us and up and down the stat sheet, right? They just are. They're a better team. Okay. But damn, you've got this team that is still trying to figure it out, able to compete at the level they need to be able to take on the number 1 team. And quite frankly, I think in the moments we needed to be better. I mean, think about it. Anyone, I mean, and look, this is any game, any opportunity you take, right? I get it. But I mean, these things matter. Like if just one of those opportunities we had in that first half goes in and we go into halftime tied 1-1, I think you see what Coach Casiato is talking about. I think you see what he's talking about, and the fact that you come out in that second half like, you know what, F you, like we're coming for you. Instead, you come out fresh in the mind that you just conceded a goal against a team that doesn't give up many goals. We're not finishing our chances. They're dominating possession, defending, for long stretches of the game. It's absolutely brutal on the body. I mean, anyone who's played rec ball to club ball to whatever kind of sport you played, playing defense is a hell of a lot harder because you're doing mostly chasing, and chasing the game is always harder, right? It's easier whenever you can let the ball do the work for you, especially on offense, right? So, I mean, I think that if we can sink one of those, this game is flipped up on its head real fast. And who knows? I mean, maybe it wakes Charleston up and they become the sleeping giant that we thought they were. And then maybe they go all out. Maybe they put 5 in that. I don't know. But my point is, like, you got to finish some of these chances. I mean, any one of those 3 could have gone and I think offered us a different feel and a different opportunity. And I like to believe that if we're tied at halftime, whether it be 0-0 or 0-0 or, 1-1, that second half, there's a belief in the team. Because we have seen it. Traditionally, this team does collect itself well at halftime and come out and, is fired up. I realize we didn't do that last week. We were flat up until substitutions, and some of that was because of the substitutions. But I think the team has done well, mostly under Steve Coleman's lead. I think made proper changes at halftime, the right adjustments, and come out with the right attitude and been able to, I think, put a team on their heels. And we just never got a chance to do it against Charleston. And that's something you got to do. I mean, you got to make them see something they're not used to. Play from being down. They're not used to being down. You got to make them chase a game, make them become more dangerous or open up their field. I mean, these are going to stretch us out. Cal Jennings is always a threat, behind the lines. But the more they have to go for the game, the more that counter-strike that we have, that counterattack that we can play, that I think we've done well at, just minus the finishing. I think we've got a great chance. I think we allow ourselves an opportunity to be more in this game, and it didn't work out that way, and it's unfortunate. So anyways, coming in the second half, it's a lot of the same. I mean, truthfully, it's a lot of the same, right? I mean, it's they're on us pretty heavily. Let's see here. We had a couple. We did have one substitution out. That was like Fernandez went out in the 22nd for Alvarez. That was tough. I just feel for Leo, man. I don't know, because he hasn't had the season that clearly he would have won and that we were hoping from him. I don't think he's done by any means. I mean, just a couple years ago, he was MVP of the league. I mean, this is still Leo Fernandez we're talking about. This is still, the Samba Man. I mean, I really, I really pray for him. I wish nothing but the best for him. Whatever has happened this year, whatever happens the rest of the season, I hope the fans really rally behind Leo. He's a guy that has done so much for this club. And I really hope people really rally behind him. I love to see him come back and get at least another shot, um, because I think he's earned that from the club and from us as fans, to support him in that. But anyway, so Alvarez comes on the 22nd. Sorry, forgot to mention that. So early in the second half, as expected, Arteaga off passes on. I mean, we saw a difference when he gets on the field, right? Like, I mean, he just adds a different energy, and I know that I kind of dog on Woobens a bit, and I get that. But again, it's because my expectation for this guy is so high. Like, I really believe that he could be an absolute monster. I've said it, for a few weeks now. I mean, and even if not one of the best, I believe he could be a top 5 striker in the league. Now, obviously, we need some other areas to kind of pick up. We need some help. I'd be curious to see how Azakar comes together and kind of works his way in. I haven't heard anything about him clearing international clearance. I'll have to follow up on that, find out what's going on, because I'm curious as well. I think he could be a big help for helping passes get open in certain spaces, finding some of the areas that I think would be more beneficial to his style of play. And I think also opening up their players for opportunities. But obviously he wasn't here this game, so let's not get lost on that just yet. Yeah, so in the 57th minute, I mean, right after he comes on, right, he gets that beautiful crossover from Bodily, where he just inside the foot just opens his hips up and just barely goes over the bar. I mean, barely goes over the bar. But again, this is what we're talking about, where, I mean, he lifts up the whole vibe of the team attacking wise, and he forces that defense to really respect that back line a little more, because he can get in behind you and he can create opportunities, and he can put the ball in frame. I mean, I get that he didn't do it here, but I mean, I was very happy to see him get that immediate opportunity. It didn't necessarily materialize the way I wanted to, and I'm not just talking about him not scoring that goal. I think as a whole, the rest of that half, I think it disappeared a little bit. I don't think he was as much of a factor as I hoped he would be, but it is what it is. And then we get up to the 71st minute, and would you believe, and I didn't realize it until afterwards. I was watching this game on mute, so I missed a lot of the commentary. But that 71st minute, whenever Charleston scores that through ball, one kind of, I mean, look, hindsight's 2020. I would love to see Bondre get to that one a little faster. Not saying he could have. I just would like to see it. I feel like that's not the type of goal he usually lets in. I feel like he's better than that. But my point is, that was their first shot on target. Like, their first shot on goal. 71st minute. Like, the number one scoring offense in USL, first shot on goal in the 71st minute. I mean, that's pretty damn good. I mean, now I get that it throws us down 2-0, but in the back of your mind, and obviously you don't know that in the moment. Like, I think you get so involved in the groove of the game, like you don't think of other things, but it's just like, damn, if this team could have only realized, like, difference from them to us is not that huge. Like, we can compete with these teams. We just can. I remember when I went on a rant, oh God, this is probably a month ago, where I was just like, I don't give a shit. I want this team to just start believing themselves and start telling themselves, like, they can do this. They're going to do this. They are doing this. And they're going to go after every team with a reckless abandonment. And that was probably a little wishful thinking back then. But I needed the team to start believing that they could compete in these games, because it didn't feel like they were doing that. This game, they felt like they could compete. It's a tough one to take, because none of our chances are going in. They've had one shot on goal and it goes in. Their only other goal is off of an own goal, which is just a freak play, which, quite frankly, I don't hold it again. I'm Castellanos, but it's just like, man, yeah, I don't know. And then, of course, 84th minute, Passius puts it off the post. It looked like the opposite goal of what happened in Hartford, where he turned into his inside, plays it off his left foot just inside the post. This one, he opens his hips, turns to his left side now, curls around the goal and just barely knocks off the outside of that post and comes right back out in the middle of the box. And you're just thinking to yourself, it's just one of those games, man. It's just one of those games where it didn't seem to matter whatever we did. It wasn't working, and it wasn't happening, and it wasn't going in. It was just super frustrating because removing the idea or forgetting the fact that we have had a tough time scoring all season. I mean, it's not like we didn't do all the right things to put ourselves in a position to win this game. It just, when sometimes you just need a little luck in certain games, all the luck fell on their side. Everything went to Charleston. And that's tough. And it's tough because we definitely worked hard enough, I think, to earn ourselves an opportunity in this game. And it didn't happen. I mean, I guess the good and bad side of this is the Jagermeister Cup. This doesn't affect us in regular season. But what it does tell us in regular season is that there's every reason to believe that we can compete with anybody. If we can do this to the number one team in the East, we can get after anybody in this league. We've proven that we can defend a long stretches of periods of the game and make very dangerous teams look very, very average. If we're just patient, we do what we know how to do, fill up those passing lanes, don't allow them opportunities, close down fast, turn the ball over, get it back up the field. I mean, if we could just get a couple games where we find the back of the net consistently and turn just a few of these opportunities into goals, I mean, what a difference that would make. And we're going to have to do that. I mean, we've got 14 games left in the season, right? It's just, there's not a lot of time left. I mean, 14 games is a lot, but it's not, because the further we go here, the less wiggle room we're going to have, because we're going to be depending more on these other teams above us to lose. And I mean, just law averages says that's just not going to happen at a high rate. I mean, we're not winning enough, or we're not putting enough balls in the back of the net to give ourselves that chance yet, even though we're only a few points away. But let's finish this game first. So then the 90+1, Skinner gets a beautiful goal off a cross. He does what every coach has taught every player since the beginning of time: get over the ball, head the ball down at the keeper's feet, put it across the net. Which, by the way, bodily, I love this guy, and I love Skinner too. I love that this goal is between two very awesome players of whom I've really come to I always like Bodley, but I've really come to really enjoy Skinner and his play, and the fact that he is very plug and play. I think this guy has found himself a spot with our team. I really hope we hold on to him. I think he's valuable, not just because he's good at the spots that he's played in, his willingness to get up and be a problem wherever he is, wherever he's asked to play on the field. But to this goal, I mean, Bodley just puts in a beautiful looping, kind of a high arcing, but it had a lot of pace for being a ball that was played that high in the air. It was moving very fast. And it was just in the right spot to where the keeper didn't come out for the ball. And Skinner does a wonderful job of getting over the ball, putting it down, and boom. I mean, he doesn't celebrate nothing, just runs straight back to the line, because that's in the 90+1. Man, I mean, there was a glimmer of hope. Now, I mean, I realize for the sake of the cup run, we needed to tie and give ourselves, and then to win on penalties. That was our one surefire way, right? Or just win. But in order to win, we would have had to score, 2 more goals, which I think we all know that was probably unrealistic. It's not impossible, but it's highly improbable, right? I think the realistic was maybe we can sneak one more in. I mean, sorry, I skipped over all of our substitutions. Let's talk about that for a second. So we had Moon come off for Skinner. We had Wyke come off. Sorry, Moon came off for Skinner in the 72nd. Wyke comes off for Lasso in the 81st. Crisostomo comes off for Bassett in the 72nd. That was the final sub. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. That was all 5 of our subs. But I mean, it just we put Lasso up top, which I get the reason for that. But man, that the potential goal by Passes in the 84th that comes back in the middle of the field, and who's probably the one guy you don't want the ball to go to is Forrest Lasso in that moment inside the box, because he just boomed that ball. But you can't fault the big man for trying. I mean, look, defenders' eyes get real big in the goal. When you're inside the box, it's just you and the goalkeeper. It was unfortunate, but I get the reasoning for it. I mean, you want to put the tall guy in there for crosses into the box. That seems to be the one consistent way we're getting in. Yeah, I know. Look, guys, this has been all over the place. I got to be honest with you. I rewatched this game, and again, I was so frustrated, but I wasn't left without hope, right? I'm frustrated to be out of the Jägermeister Cup because I felt like it was such a great opportunity for this team to just go all in, right? Because it felt like something that was attainable. Because let's be honest, the playoffs in the league doesn't feel great. It doesn't. And I hate to say that as somebody who loves this team and believes in this club and obviously, does a podcast for the team, all these things, but I'm trying to be honest about how I feel. And it's tough, man. I mean, you see the comments. I mean, I can't be the only one that loves reading comments because they're just wonderful. Although, man, some of y'all, again, you would think that we are taking, a can of gas and just a bunch of matches and just blowing this thing up every single time we lose. It's like, it's not that, it's not that big a deal. Like, just relax, relax a minute. I mean, I get it, but some of y'all are just dramatic. Like, good Lord, man, get a grip. Anyways, so post game, Coach Dominic's asked, as far as with this loss and now being out of the Jägermeister Cup, kind of what's the focus? And he says, the players are going to be our full focus now. We've seen an improvement game on, or, improvement game and game on with and without the ball. Now it's about making sure there's consistent results and consistent performances. Our focus is on getting above the playoff line and having a good run in the second half of the season. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you have to say. And at the same time, I mean, I do agree. I mean, from game to game, we have been better. We have been better. I mean, I get the results aren't stacking up the way we want them to, but I agree. I think we have been better. I think we have definitely been more dangerous for creating more opportunities. I think structure-wise, as far as kind of how we fill in our roles, understanding our positions and what we're being asked to do in those positions, I think has gotten better. Communication's gotten better. The 1-2 touch game has gotten better. We're showing a little bit of consistent as far as like style and moves, as far as what we're trying to do to get up the field. I think we have transitioned well into this out of necessity to a certain degree, but this counterattack team that is, I think, doing a good job with what we have and what we're doing. I mean, obviously we all want to go back to being the possession team that we were and controlling the flow of the game and really owning the bigger moments in a game, but that's something you have to build back into. That's just not who we are right now. But I agree with the coach. I think from game to game, I think we are seeing improvements. I think we've seen a continuation of what Steve Coleman started. I think you're starting to see a little bit of Cassiato's flair. I think you're seeing guys understand their roles because we are creating more opportunities. It is happening. It's tough to see when, you're losing games to rivals, but, I mean, look, welcome to the game of soccer, man. It just is what it is. But, so we come out of there, we're out of the Unused Cup. We move on. We look at the playoff picture. I mean, we look at standings. I mean, as it is right now, we've got Rhode Island ahead of us with 17 points. We've got 14 right now, but they have 17 matches played. We only have 16, so there's an opportunity there for us to catch them and at least tie. And that would put us in 10th. You've got Birmingham with 18 games and 18 points. Do the math. If we can win 2 games, and those 2 games we make up, we're ahead of them. And don't look now, but Miami FC in 8th place has played 17 games and at 19 points, not that much further ahead. I mean, I know that for me personally right now, like if you stuck this team in the playoffs, I don't think we get out of the first round. I just don't. Now we could get lucky and we might get out of the first round, but I don't think it's going to happen in that 8th or 7th seed. You're going to have to get into probably that 6th seed, I think, to give yourselves a really good chance. I think putting yourself in 8th or 7th, which would line you up with Charleston or Louisville, and let's be honest, I don't think anyone wants to line up against either one of those teams right now. They are both really good, really potent, and really dangerous. But I don't know. I mean, maybe, hey, you say screw it. We can only play, who's placed in front of you, and you do what you got to do. But I don't know, guys. It's either way. I don't think it's unrealistic for us to think that we can make it into the playoffs. I think we can. I think if we can continue on this trend, but just the biggest thing is we got to start putting the ball in the back of the net. I mean, end of the day, I mean, that's the league, right? That's every year. That's every team. You got to put the ball in the back of the net. If you're not winning games, we're not going to get there by tying teams. Let's put it that way. And that's going to come from us really pushing our style of play in the game and us getting maybe a little lucky time to time because everybody needs a little luck. shit, Lord knows we're due for it. I mean, Christ almighty. I mean, we are definitely due for some luck. We have not had it this season. I don't know who did what to who, but please undo it. Leave the Indian Burial Ground alone. Go put the pot of gold back. Whatever it is, just go back and put that back wherever it was. Undo it, so we can get a little bit of luck on our side again, and maybe stick a few more of these chances in the back of the net. To mention the fact that, and I think if we start winning and scoring, I mean, look, winning heals most all wounds, right? I mean, like, winning cures all ailments. I mean, we start winning and believe in ourselves. I mean, let's not forget, these guys all are talented professionals that, I mean, look, maybe that's a little bit we're missing right now. I mean, I definitely feel like we can compete in Rhode Island, Birmingham, and Miami. Like, we definitely can. I mean, even Indy. I mean, maybe Detroit might be a little bit of a tougher mix. I think a bit if it's Detroit away versus Detroit home. That's a different mode. But I'm just saying, though, like, these are games and teams that we can beat. I mean, even in the form we're playing at right now, I still feel like we can beat these teams. And a lot of these teams are the ones that we're up against here, real soon. In fact, let's go back to the schedule. So let's see. Our next game is up against Indy 11. That's going to be a tough game, but I mean, I want to see. Someone said there was a stat today that I think we haven't lost to them in like 4 years or something like that. Like, it's been a while. Like, we have owned the numbers on this team. Like, the average is like definitely advantage us right now. So I don't see any reason why we can't go out and cause some damage there. Look, next game's going to be against North Carolina, also away. Tough team, nice facility. It's going to be hotter than blue blazes out there. God, that's going to be hot as hell. I mean, you think it's hot here? Let me tell you what. If you haven't been out in the middle of, like, see, we're lucky. At home, we get that nice Gulf breeze. Like, at least it feels like there's some cool air moving at night. Even though it's sweltering heat and it's just humid as shit, there at least is a breeze that is somewhat redeeming. They don't have a breeze in North Carolina, okay? It's just stale, hot, and just muggy as you know what. It's miserable. That's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a hot game. There's going to be a lot of substitutions, a couple water breaks. Like, that's going to be a tough one. But, hey, I mean, maybe that's where we get lucky. I don't know. Then we got to play Phoenix at home on the 16th. We finally get a home game on the 16th. Thank God. It feels like it has been forever. I mean, mostly because it has. But God, is it going to feel good to be home again? I mean, right? It's been too damn long. And I feel like the players can use that energy as well, which, by the way, guys, call to fans. And for any one of you guys that listen to the show, look, I get that this season has not been what we want it to be, and that's tough. But I really put it on you and myself and all of us as a group on the 16th to show up and show out and be loud as hell and welcome these guys back home. Because let me tell you what, they're going to need it. I mean, any team will tell you that home fans make, there's a reason there's a saying called the 12th man, right? Like, there's a reason for the saying. And it's real. And I get that the results have not been necessarily what we want. We're not sitting where we want to sit in the standings. This is not the season we had hoped for, but it is the season we have. And we do have an opportunity to represent our city and to show up for our guys who deserve that, at least from us, that very minimal part of just showing up and being loud and being rowdy and getting ready and pushing them along. Because, look, this is going to be a good push. I mean, we've got, a lot of the teams that we have left to play this year are bottom of the league teams. We've got Detroit at home. We've got Birmingham away, Loudoun away, North Carolina home. We got a Rhode Island away. We got a Hartford home. I mean, like, Detroit home. I mean, like, a lot of the bottom teams that we need to beat to get ourselves in the playoff position, like, we're about to play them. And look, this is our chance, man. We cannot control what happens on the field, but what we can control is how we sound when we're at home. And I really hope that the fans show up for this team. Lord knows they have gone above and beyond all the way up until this year, and it hasn't worked. But they are fighting, and they are showing a lot of fight. And I hope that as a fan base we can appreciate that and show that to them. Not to mention, on that 16th game, that's going to be Coach Dominic's first home game with us. And I would love nothing more than to show him the love that this city can bring, that we have shown in the past, to help motivate him as well. I don't know that he or the team really needs it, or will say that they need it, but I mean, they need it. They deserve to see it, and I'd love to show it to them. So yeah, that's my rant. I don't know. This one sucked. Like I said, plenty of positives come out of this game. I'm hoping we see Azakar clear international sanctions or whatever it was that's holding him back. I hope he clears that. I'd like to see him get out in the field and give him a chance. I'm all for another player getting a run out and just injecting a little bit of new blood, new life into this team. Who knows? I mean, maybe he's a piece we're missing. Maybe he has no effect at all. I don't know. But it can't be any different than what we've been seeing. And I like to believe that this is a guy that can help us, maybe take us to the next step. I don't know, man, 14 games. Like, you say that out loud, like it doesn't feel like that much, and it's not, but it's a lot of games, and it's not. But there's plenty of opportunity there for us to make a push. And we're lined up against a lot of teams that are not doing great right now, or at least not high up in the standings, that, quite frankly, I think that we are better than. But we got to put the ball back to the net. So, all right. Well, yay, that podcast. That was fun, right? Exciting, energetic stuff. I promise, man, at some point this is going to be better, and you won't be stuck with just me. I know you love Dan. I love Dan. I mean, we all love Dan. Like, he'll be back soon. I talk to him all the time. The man's just got a lot going on, and no worries. He'll be back soon enough. Hopefully he'll be back next week so we can break down this Indy 11 game. Hopefully it's a win. Hopefully it's something we can cheer about. Hopefully there's multiple goals, but we'll see. In the meantime, I will pack this thing up as quick as I can and get it out to you guys. And again, like I said last week, it is super important to hear back from you guys. You know, what you guys have been DMing us and writing behind the scenes. Like, we appreciate the feedback. Again, we need more. I mean, ask your questions, get them out there. Thoughts, ideas, whatever, send them in to either myself or Dan, or just, answer any one of our posts and ask a question. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear from you guys. I mean, again, this is y'all's show. We just sit here and we throw nonsense and jargon back and forth and occasional bad jokes and sad emo songs to y'all. And, that's just how this thing rolls. All right. We love you. I'm going to get out of here. And, like I said, we'll talk to each other next week. Come on, you rowdies.
The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the Rowdies, the Rowdies, the Rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Rowdies play soccer, it's a sight to behold. You'll swear they'll be devils with magical toes. You'll laugh, you'll cheer, you'll leap from your seat when they kick with their head instead of their feet. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the Rowdies, the Rowdies, the Rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Tampa Bay Rowdies take the field, there's a roar. The fans, loyal fannies, cheer the team they adore.